Okay, Friday morning in the kingdom, and I'm on location. Oh, these lips. It was a rough night. Yes, it was Thursday night, Thirsty Thursdays. All right, it's Friday morning in the kingdom, and it's trying to snow or rain. It's confused. Yes, this is unreal. I don't remember the weather like this, and the melt we've had in the last 4 days is unreal. So here we go. We woke up to 0 Celsius. Yes, 0. And then on the yo-yo, no. 0 Celsius, but feels like -4, so that it could explain the snowflakes instead of rain. And then on the yo-yo scale, +32. Ooh, is that warm? But it feels like +25. That's a day off in the kingdom. Too warm for us if that was in Celsius. All right. So we're on location in the middle of the yard in the soft snow. Yes, there's the shop back there. We started the wood stove. I can't see the wood smoke. Maybe I should have put some accelerants in to darken it up. All right, because it takes the chill off in the shop. The hour I spend in the house after I do these intros and walk the dogs, and that way it warms up as I'm answering comments and emails and stuff like that from people around the world. And then when it's time to work and the boss is an asshole, I go out to the shop and it's kind of warm in there. Yes, it's warm. So let's see if we can do a scroll this way. We won't be welding outside today because, well, it's snowing. Yes, we'll twist it all and hopefully snowflakes don't get stuck to the me phone. All right, the green toy. Yes, it was part of my wasted youth. Yes, we had fun back then. Now it's here in the kingdom. What a surprise. And here we go. Yes, and there's the the film trucks, yes, for my wasted youth. Oh, I can't wait to start driving them and have freedom and drive out to Dairy Queen. I'll go in and order my, how would you say, peanut butter parfait. That way I get the peanuts. All right, we'll keep going here. Oh, I'm screwing up big time, just like my marriage. Oh, speaking of marriage, look at this. Oh, I feel sorry for the people that grew these and everything in California. Yes, they put so much time and effort into growing them, and now they're at the end of the world at 50% off. Yes, and they're still tasty. Look, they're not green on the bottom yet, okay? The staff will tell me when they turn green, or I'll see the fuzzy stuff. So I've been eating a lot of toasted tomato sandwiches and having salads and everything. I'm trying to eat healthy. I had a scare there getting the cold or the flu. That was unreal. So I think it was my diet. Yes. So I got to eat healthy and drink healthy too. Yes. Vodka with orange juice. Yes. Got to keep the vitamin C up. All right. So here we are. Full rotation almost. Yes. There we go. We're right back where we started. And that's the other caboose. Yes, the sleeping caboose where people can sleep in there. Yes, and do bad things if they want. All right. We made it full rotation. All right. I think we've had enough. The me phone, I don't know. It looks like there's snow on the screen, so I'm probably all blurry, just like I'm talking. Oh, just unreal. Well, I better go. Here comes the boss.
Friday morning in WHO-ville, and it's almost 8:30 a.m. and I'm getting ready to head to work. As you can see, there is no sunrise. It is pretty cloudy out and actually started to snow. I'm not sure if you can see it on the camera, but I'll pan down to my sweater and you can see all the snow falling onto it. Now it's time to head inside, let the dogs back in, and get to work. 12:30, I'm just finishing up lunch. Didn't have very much today because there is a barbecue going on at the school. There was supposed to be a fish derby, but it got canceled because of the weather, so we're going to have a school/community barbecue. So let's let the dogs back in and get to work. 4 p.m. and I just made it home from work. It was a pretty good afternoon with the kids. We just watched movies and hung out inside all day. It was snowing on and off, so we didn't go outside. We had hot dogs as well for the barbecue and some juice boxes. It was actually pretty good. Now it's time to head on over to the kingdom and see what my dad's up to. 4:30 and I made it to the kingdom. Sure is warm out here today and I was barely able to get down the back lane with the skidoo, so I think I'll be getting the quad out today. Now it's time to head down to the shop and see what my dad's up to. In behind the house, and I'm going to get the quad out now. I have to put the battery on and then start her up and take her down to the shop and do a little service on it, check the oil, the tires and everything like that since it's been sitting for this season. Then I can put the skidoo away and take the battery off just in case I don't need it anymore, but if I do, we have the Yamaha. Quad started up no problem. Now I'll take it down to the shop and put some gas in it and do a little service. I was able to get the skidoo in as well. I didn't take the battery off it yet since I have to take the skidoo back out again so I can get the quad trailer out, but I don't need it at the moment, so I'm just going to leave it alone. Now let's head down to the shop. 5 p.m. and I got the quad down by the shop. Now I'm going to do a quick little service on it, air up the tires, check the oil, and a few other things, and then I can head on back into WHO-ville. Hopefully I can make it out of the kingdom because it sure is soft and everything is melting. As you can see right in front of the shop here, there's no snow. Almost 5:30 and I got the quad service. This is just a temporary service. We'll put it into the shop and do an oil change and everything else on it at a later date. Now I can head on back into WHO-ville and do the weather. 5:30 and I made it home from the kingdom. Was trying to put the quad away, but it is very soft and the snow is extra sticky. Plus I only have 2-wheel drive, so the quad got a little stuck, but the snow isn't too deep, so all I have to do is dig it down. 6 p.m. and I got the quad put away, no problem. All I had to do was shovel down to the dirt and the concrete here. As you can see, there is not much snow left. It's pretty packed right here, so all I was doing was spinning, and then it's frozen underneath, so I didn't have any traction. But once I shoveled down, I was able to get into the shed, no problem. Now it's time to head inside, let the dogs out, and do the weather. Just after 6 p.m. and this is the temperature we're sitting at today. It's 5 degrees Celsius, which is 41 degrees Fahrenheit. We even have the feels like on the bottom. It's the same weather as the last couple days. It's been pretty warm out. That sun is melting a lot of the snow away. I'm glad I got my quad out when I did. I don't think I'd make it to the kingdom tomorrow if I kept the skidoo. Now it's time to head inside, let the dogs back in, make supper, and end my day.
Okay, before I head in the shop or before I walk the dogs, I figured I better do a video on this tank, okay? Back in the day, or the 70s, everything was good times, or the 60s. You could have a 1,000-gallon fuel tank up on a stand or on the ground for pumping fuel or gravity feed fuel into your equipment. But those days are long gone. Everything has to be enviro tanks and stuff like that. So we gathered up a lot of these 1,000-gallon tanks back in the day for scrap metal, but we use this one for water. So it's got the hose hanger on the back, 2-inch valve on the bottom. It has to be a brass valve so you can take the heat to it, like the Tiger Torch, the propane flamethrower, cam lock couplers for coupling in, hole in the top for a pump, and this is how we put the water in. So this tank spent close to 20 years on the back of the 46 Chevy truck. It's a little too long, a little bit overweight, but nothing's illegal until you get caught up here in the Great White North. I mean, wilderness Alaska. But the thing is that we might shorten it up this summer so it looks proportionable on the 46 Chevy truck. You know, because you never know. We got to have a resale value on this stuff when I'm dead and gone. Okay, I now walked over to the storage vans. I think this is trailers 2 through to 6. No, 5, okay? So over here we have another trailer, a beaver tail, whatever you want to call it, a beaver tail Fuhoff trailer we use for storage now. Because back in the day we used to move things around with it, but now you can't even leave the yard without a flat tire. Okay, we got this welding deck from Saskatchewan. Yes, that's Saskatchewan over there where all the wind is. And those guys are smart. They don't change their clocks, okay? So this was acquired, and then in 2019 we made it fit onto the 38 maple leaf, okay? So that's also why we shortened the frame. So it's a nice heavy duty, last of the good steel welding decks or whatever, so we can use it for pulling trailers and stuff. So this will give the truck a nice ride, so we have to modify it and make it look appropriate for the 38 maple leaf. So this is, how would you say, long time coming, but hopefully this summer we'll have this deck on the truck and it'll be looking good, and then we can go drive around and wave at the ladies at Dairy Queen. And also too, in the back here, I'll try and walk and talk, we also acquired a service body, so that I think that'll be going on the 38 GMC, so I can put my tools in, so I can drive around the yard with my tools inside. Okay, I walked around to the front of the trailers here, so that's the box for the 37 Dodge Hot Rod right there. And then this is the weight box for the Screaming Ford. Yes, we clip it into the fifth wheel. We have the pulley on a stick. I think we did a video on it. I'll include that in the description. Ooh, I'm getting fancy. And also too, oops, I fell in the snow. I sunk in the snow. Didn't fall. If I fall, the camera would be all blurry. Okay, that white service box right there is from Saskatchewan too. So the Saskatchewan people are very generous. I'm getting quality items from them. Oh wait, they're nice people. Okay, after coffee in the kingdom in the morning here, did all my answering the emails, comments, and everything like that. I have a few more to do, catch up on YouTube. All right, so this is normal weather for us. Yes, this is what we need. Not rain, we need this snow, but we need the cold. It's still too warm. You can hear the waterfalls. All right, let's back up into the shop here. Okay, so this morning with the dogs, we got in the firewood right here. We got a couple of root balls down on the floor there. We'll keep the fires going throughout the day. Nice steady heat. It's just warm enough in the shop here that I can open the door for ventilation when I get welding or Booger welding or something like that. So over here, we got the 46 Chevy 2-ton truck. This side of the firewall is done. So now we'll go to this side. Okay, so this master cylinder booster combo, I've went and ordered all these new ones because I didn't trust the old ones. And then to find out that I was getting a bunch of bad ones, okay, but we figured it out. We'll do details on that later. So we're on and off with these master cylinders, and this is the brake booster from the 78 Chevy square body. It fits nicely on the firewall. So I copied everything off the original 46 welding truck from the 80s because those are the holes that we had back then, and then we did the 45, and then we did this one. Okay, so let's walk over here as you guys need your exercise. So this is where it gets a little funny. This is the motor and transmission from the 86 Chevy Suburban from Wisconsin. So this is the brake booster and master cylinder and everything from that one. So look at the different angles due to the rotation of the earth. So this is actually too high. And also too, it's a little hard when you put the liquid in because it kind of, I would say, flows to the back. So I think we're going to have to figure out how to modify it. We might have to cut the bracketry here to get the same pivot, change the angle, degrees, and philosophies. I'll have to have some vodka. Oh, better yet, I better consult with Jack Daniels because him and I work together pretty good. Also, too, how do you mark these holes here, right? The paint pen won't fit in there, the pen. So, you always save your carbon arc, okay? This is for air arcing or air gouging or whatever. Fits nicely in the hole here. You can cut it to length, make your circles, and they're marked to like a pencil. Yeah, pretty smart. So we don't run out and buy pencils. We use carbon arc. Recycle, reuse, repurpose at the end of the world. Better known as Wilderness, Alaska, but in Northern Manitoba. Okay, lunchtime in the kingdom, and that snow out there is wet. I'm having to dry my jacket because I went back and forth to the parts shed because we have confusion, like Father's Day here in WHO-ville. All right, the master cylinders on these trucks, we had a lot of problems with them because they were coming back through as impure qualities or whatever back after the great lockdowns or through the lockdowns because nothing was, how to say, quality controlled back then. So I went to the shed and we got 3 brand new master cylinders that gave us troubles, and we figured out the problems and we're going to have them set up. So this is for the 38 Maple Leaf, the 46 Chevy, and the 45 Chevy. That way these 3 trucks have the power booster mounted on the firewall. All these master cylinders are the same. That way we can figure out, walk and talk, follow along, figure out where to put a proportioning valve in here, okay? With drum brakes and this being a, how would you say, I hate some peanuts, okay? Being a large truck, some are saying that it doesn't have to have proportioning valve. All of these lips. Oh, I can't wait for lunch and I can have some vodka. But see, you got to remember, originally these trucks had the 1/4-inch brake lines and it was one system. So they started with the master cylinder under the seat here, under the floorboards. They went scurrying across over there and front to back, so that was it. So there was a lot of problems with that braking style. So upgrading to this here with a dual master cylinder, front brakes at the front of the cylinder, master cylinder at the back, and back brakes. So that way it's separate lines, okay? Because that way we can get it to stop. We did that with the 46 welding truck back in the day. I think that was the mid 80s, and it worked very well for us then. We didn't have a proportioning valve, but we're doing that with the brake in the system because in case the rules change. All right, let's do the walk and talk. All right, so up here we worked on the 38 Maple Leaf, took it apart, and we got to get this, brake booster master cylinder to get level out because that's too much of an angle and degrees. So I measured off the 46, and this one does have a different mounting bracket by almost 1/2 inch of a difference. I don't know why, the rotation of the earth. So here we are, got the holes drilled up here. It's where the top of the bracket to mount properly, and all the yellow holes have to be filled. So this will be the afternoon project. So I set my goals, and I want to get this firewall done and this firewall done by the end of the day. So the end of the day could be midnight or it could be 5 o'clock. Depends on my work ethics. But it is Friday, it's snowing, and beer tastes good about now. Okay, after lunch in the kingdom, we got a nice coal base of hot ambers in the wood stove there, so now we can start throwing the root balls in. Yes, I don't know why people leave them behind. Well, one, they probably don't have a mini hoe or a cat to knock the tree over, so that's why they chainsaw the top of the tree off and leave the root ball. But we recycle, repurpose, reuse everything at the end of the world here. Okay, so over here, I consulted with Jack Daniels at lunchtime, and I can't count. Yes, Sesame Street, I didn't watch it today. So we have the 38 Maple Leaf, which is the power booster on the Firewall. We forgot the 47 or the 41 Chevy 4x4. It has disc brakes on the front because it's 4x4, and it needs a proportioning valve. So there's another brand new master cylinder. Then we have the 45 and the 46. All right. So we got that understanding. No wonder it's confusing, like Father's Day here in WHO-ville. All right. So let's go to the front. Everybody needs their walk exercise. Yes, need their exercise. All right, so now we got to drop this power booster down 1/4 of an inch to match the measurements on the 46. Okay, so here we go. Do I want to be on this side? Yeah. All right, so down here on the 46, we have 3 inches straight across. Up here we have 2 3/4, but this one here is 2 1/2. Okay, so that's why that master cylinder is sticking up too close to the hood. Okay, so what I did was cut it. But to cut it, I couldn't use my... Oh, we got the wrong side here. All right. We couldn't... Oh, where'd the plasma cutter go? Oh. Okay, it's back there. All right. So we couldn't use the plasma cutter because it's a laser. Like, look at the success Dr. Evil had with his laser. He couldn't control it. So what we did was took some muffler pipe here, cut a slit in it. Yes, we used these gifted zip cut blades or whatever. We usually don't buy them because they're very expensive, so they were gifted to us, so we're really appreciating it and getting these projects underway. So I cut a slit in here and got it to slide down here because there's rubber and everything down in here. So then I used the zip cut blade to cut down till I seen the rusted exhaust pipe. Okay, so I left 1/4 of an inch here. Okay, it's not really 1/4 of an inch. Okay, if you notice, we don't use many measuring tools. Okay, so what I did, stuck that in there, and then I marked it. Okay, so this is my measuring stick today. All right, improvise, adapt, and overcome. Clint Eastwood, Heartbreak Ridge. So now I will pry this apart. Okay, that's why I have it bolted together here. And this gasket glue is to keep the sparks from going into the crack or the slit we cut. All right, so now I pry this apart 1/4 of an inch, and then I can booger weld this closed. I'm going to have to get this wet and keep it cool because there's rubber inside here, and I don't want it to melt or booger up. I went to Rock Auto and priced out one of these, and well, I can spend a lot of time welding and farting around and try not to wreck it versus wrecking it and then having to buy one. Okay, I got it done, no problems. The Hobart Handler 100 with the 035 wire, new tip, and it's gasless, so it worked very well. The problem I had was the water. Yes, the water. Look at all the water everywhere. I might as well be outside welding in the rain and snow and everything like that because my feet are wet now. But the main thing is I welded, and then I put the water to it, and I give it a little buff. And also too, I used bolts in here, and I cut them to a certain length. That way there was a stopper here while I'm trying to hold this apart, okay? These little pinholes, those are steam holes coming up through, but I can't control it. Plus, I don't know if you can see the tar here, Les Netzman. There's tar on this. So they, that's part of the assembly of the vehicle at the GM plant, is they spray the firewall, everything with that tar. So the tar is also in the inside here. So it was great fun, but we did it. We just kept welding and welding and water and lots of air. Yes, lots of air. So we used the air hose here to chase the water, the steam, everything like that. So I'm very pleased with this. And as I welded, I made sure that this turned, okay? Because if it doesn't turn, that means you've now welded this pipe to this. Then you got a problem. So now I can unbolt this, do a test fit on the truck, and then we can fill in those holes. Well, I'm hoping to get this done today because I set my goals or whatever. Okay, the test fit is success. Look at how level that is compared to what it looked like this morning. Even the welds look good. We don't buff the welds and stuff like that because, well, I'm a welder, not a grinder, boy. All right, so that looks out good. Looks good. The holes I drilled here even actually line up. I don't know. It's my lucky day. Hopefully a local lady will come by with matching undies. Yes, so that looks good. I'm very happy. Let's have a drink to celebrate. Okay, coffee time in the kingdom. We got the Hobart Handler 100 set up because we're going to do a production run here on the Firewall. Also, too, note that I put the old rubber hose onto the studs for the brake pedal because we don't want to, booger them, because that's the last thing we need is to try and bolt the or the power booster back on, and the threads are all boogered up. All right, so let's see how bad the 46 Chevy 3-ton is. Ooh, a walk and talk video. You guys are getting your exercise. All right, so there we go. I think we have quite a bit of welding, but we lucked out on the other side because on the 38 Maple Leaf that had more holes than this one, so now it's payback. This side has more holes than the 38. All right, let's have a quick coffee with some vodka in it, and then we can get this production run done and we can drink professionally. Okay, 7 o'clock in the kingdom, and we did it. We have the firewalls done. Yes, we did it on both trucks. We splashed the paint all over the place. Yes, and now with the warmer weather, we can actually ship paint in, because if you ship it in the winter or the cold days, you have a great risk of it freezing. So that's why we have to buy in the summer only and make it last. And the 46 got the same thing done to it, and it's looking good. Just splash the paint everywhere. All right, let's go check on the flags. Okay, it's really melted. This snow that I'm trying to stand on, I'm breaking through and hitting the water underneath. So I got wet feet now. I don't know how that happened. Looks like it's going to snow. I didn't put any wood in the stove because it's too warm in there. The electric furnace will take over and have a steady heat. All right, look at the sun. We're not sure what it's doing. It looks like it's going to snow some more. This turned out to be an icky day all around. And look at the flags. They're in their natural state of, well, being flags, except for the Canadian flag of exercise. Once again, all tangled up. All right, let's go walk the dogs, drink some beer, make a video. Talk to you later.